Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're doing another Bible reading. We are on page 25 and this will continue into page 26. We are starting chapter 30 of Genesis, verses 1 through 24. So let's get started. When Rachel saw that she bore Jacob no children, she envied her sister, and she said to Jacob, "Give me children, or I shall die." Jacob became very angry with Rachel and said, "Am I in the place of God, who has withheld from you the fruit of the womb?" Then she said, "Here is my maid Bilhah. Go into her, that she may bear upon my knees, and that I too may have children through her." So she gave him her maid Bilhah as a wife, and Jacob went into her. And Bilhah conceived and bore Jacob a son. Then Rachel said, "God has judged me, and has also heard my voice and given me a son." Therefore she named him Dan. Rachel's maid Bilhah conceived again and bore Jacob a second son. Then Rachel said, "With mighty wrestlings I have wrestled with my sister and have prevailed." So she named him Naphtali. When Leah saw that she had ceased bearing children, she took her maid Zilpah and gave her to Jacob as a wife. Then Leah's maid Zilpah bore Jacob a son, and Leah said, "Good fortune." So she named him Gad. Leah's maid Zilpah bore Jacob a second son, and Leah said, "Happy am I, for the women will call me happy." So she named him Asher. In the days of wheat harvest, Reuben went and found mandrakes in the field and brought them to his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, "Please give me some of your son's mandrakes." But she said to her, "Is it a small matter that you have taken away my husband? Would you take away my son's mandrakes also?" Rachel said, "Then he may lie with you tonight for your son's mandrakes." When Jacob came out from the field in the evening, Leah went out to meet him and said, "You must come in to me, for I have hired you with my son's mandrakes." So he lay with her that night, and God heeded Leah, and she conceived and bore Jacob a fifth son. Leah said, "God has given me my hire because I gave my maid to my husband." So she named him Issachar. And Leah conceived again, and she bore Jacob a sixth son. Then Leah said, "God has endowed me with a good dowry. Now my husband will honor me because I have borne him six sons." So she named him Zebulun. Afterwards she bore a daughter and named her Dinah. Then God remembered Rachel, and God heeded her and opened her womb. She conceived and bore a son, and said, "God has taken away my reproach." And she named him Joseph, saying, "May the Lord add to me another son." Okay. This whole story is continuing based off the last one that we read yesterday. And it's between Rachel and Leah and Jacob and all of their children and the maids and everybody. This is a lot to take in because it's the sisters with Jacob, both of the sisters are having children with Jacob kind of at the same time, in the same span of time as we just read. And so are the maids of both of those sisters. So Jacob is basically married to these both women, which is not unheard of back then. That was very common practice for some reason or not. I don't know why. But married to both the sisters, Leah and Rachel. And then they have their maids, Bilhah and Zilpah. And Jacob gives multitudes of children to his wives and their maids, which they take as their children. And it just basically continues this family tree of crazy smack and forth with Jacob and all of his wives and children. And God is just giving children, basically. And Rachel finally has her son at the very end, kind of like this story that we read early on in Genesis with Adam and Sarah, when she was waiting for a child, and then she finally got one. This is very similar to that story, and I think that sense, and if you want to compare those more later, you can, but I just think they're very similar. Let me know what you think on that. And it ends with, "May the Lord add me another son." She wants another son. Rachel wants another son with Jacob. But Rachel had Joseph. And I feel, I could be wrong, I feel like that is going to be an important person later on. I could be totally wrong, but I think it will be an important person because of the name Joseph. But we will see later on. And that's where we're going to end. And we will continue the next story tomorrow. So let me know what you guys think. As always, be kind, be generous to people as much as you can. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another Bible reading.